Forbes India and CNBC-TV18 present Exotel, EngageX.
We move on to our next fireside. Well, in today's hyper-connected world, reputation can be built over decades and tested in moments. For institutions, especially in the financial sector, trust is no longer shaped only by financial strength or market presence. It is earned through transparency, consistency, customer experience, and digital reliability, all of which we have been talking about through the afternoon and now in the evening. To explore what it takes to win and retain India's trust, we have with us none other than Vaidyanathan, MD and CEO, IDFC First Bank.
Thank you, Mr. Vaidyanathan. We spent the last few minutes talking about a 200-year-old institution, but now I'm going to ask why a bank that barely existed or didn't really exist a decade back is able to get 35 million customers.
First
and
of all,
what it takes to get there.
First of all, you can call me Mr. Rao, you can call me Vaidya. Okay, it starts with that. Okay.
Okay, we'll call you Vaidya, but let me start with that trust aspect actually, and what it really means for someone like you. For SBI, it is of course the legacy. It's a 200-year-old institution. There is government backing, and inherently the Indian Janta will trust someone with the PSU tag. What did it take for you to build the bank from scratch, from nothing, into the institution it is today, and retain that customer trust, which is quite visible in the kind of numbers we're seeing from you?
Thank you. So first of all, bank like SBI, particularly SBI, is iconic. The word iconic you use for very few institutions. I think SBI and LIC, those are iconic institutions. Now, ours is not that, we don't have that long a legacy. But for us, trust has to be earned in our own generation, by our own conduct. So the way we think about it is that every act we do, every product we put out, every kind of feature we put out in our customer products, everything, and the way we conduct ourselves in the event of a crisis, they all add up to the experience and the trust. And that is how our life is different than from like an SBI, for example.
Well, it is very different, but let me just push on that because, with no government backing, no clear big promoter per se. What did it take to really get these customers? In the sense that a lot has been, when you ask customers on the street, one of the big standout factors for IDFC has been your savings rate, for instance. When every other bank on the street is doing 3%, 4% on your savings, this is the only bank that was going with 7%. Of course, now you recently brought it down. But, was that, for instance, a standout strategy, something you did differently?
No. See, rate, you can pay any rate you want. Yeah. But if you don't enjoy trust, people will never leave deposits with you. Okay? And in fact, over time, we were paying higher rates because our cost of funds was 9%. Right? So we were paying 7, and 7 was a good trade. But over time, because we had a legacy institution where IDFC and Capital Force, non-bank finance company, borrowing at 9%, we had to retire that debt, and 7 looked cheap. But now we brought it on 2.5%, just for information. So if you're opening an account at the IDFC bank, just keep your expectations low. Okay, we pay 2.5%.
Well, that's just given the circumstances and where everybody else is.
I know, of course. But the point I'm going to say is that up to 3 lakhs, we pay 2.5. Above that, we pay more. The point is that rate alone doesn't get customers. That's the point I'm making. Right? Yeah. Even today on fixed deposits.
So what did you do differently?
I'll come to that. For example, on fixed, our cost of funds today, just to put it, right, we are paying 6%. Now, all mid-tier banks are paying 6%. But you will see IDFC, for the last 5 years, 6, 7 years, has grown from 40,000 crores of deposits, 40,000 crores, so today we are 2.8 lakh crores. That's 7x, 7 years. Okay, same rates. Yeah. So there is something else we have brought into the game, which is trust, so which is actually pretty well placed to serve, because somehow we convey to the public, right, at large, like I said, through products or through conduct. This is the bank to trust. And because in deposits, since you started with that subject, people are leaving money with us. It's not by lending. They have to leave money. So imagine we are now opening, not the numbers of SBI, but we are opening about 1.3 to 1.4 lakh savings accounts a month.
Okay.
every month, which means 1.4 lakh customers are trusting the bank and leaving money with us,
Yeah.
2 to 3 lakh rupees.
1.4 lakh new customers
New
each
customers
month.
every month, and imagine trusting the bank and leaving money with us.
Yeah.
It's a new
And
bank.
this is what, like a 7-year-old now? Since
Imagine. And the bank is giving out, you'll have to hold your breath. We're giving out, like total, including lending side, we're giving out 12 lakh loans a month.
12 lakh loans are
A
being
month,
dispersed every month.
1.2 a month. So this year we'll give out close to about 15 million loans.
Yeah.
And remember, every time you're giving a loan, you're doing all kinds of checks.
Yeah.
So this kind of a numbers can be done. Trust is very important, and I think that is at the foundation. There are other things like technology, culture, etc. We'll talk about later. But trust is at the foundation, and trust is something that we, you can't advertise your way into trust. Right? It is how people experience you, how you come across, and how you conduct yourself, both at the leadership level and on a daily experiences basis.
Since you bring this up, and there was a recent incident, I don't know, I suppose most of you would be aware of this Haryana fraud that came up suddenly. Almost 600 crores was missing from IDFC First Bank. Before any of the media, any of us even got a whiff of it, you had Mr. Vaidyanathan flying down to Chandigarh overnight. The investigation, before it even concluded as to what really happened with that money, he's repaid the full sum to the government. He's taken the full hit in the single quarter. Sunday this happens. Monday early morning there's an investor call before any of us wake up. So, just tell us this quick acting, all of this to preserve trust, what really was going on in your mind, and why take the steps that you took, whereas many bankers would have wanted, let's just try and settle the matter before we take it to public, before we inform people, and see whether it was our fault at all to have paid the full sum. So tell us what went through your mind.
See, a bank is a very sensitive institution, okay? And it entirely is from public trust. And what is the trust? Trust is, I am a depositor, I left money with you. The day I want it back, give it to me. This is a fundamental construct. People leave their hard-earned savings with us. Senior citizens leave money with their retirement money, and so on, right? People keep hard-earned money with us. So, therefore, we have to conduct ourselves in such a way that leaves public with zero doubt about your intention and your ability to pay. That is why, and also, we have we talk about it, but we are, as a bank, we always say customer first. And to say it is easy, to live it is very tough.
It's also in your name.
In fact, in a
First.
first, and in the slogan below, IDFC first, we write customer first boldly. Now, there's a crisis, to your point. First of all, it shouldn't have happened. It's quite bad it happened with us. And we ran 7 years, 1,000 branches. I mean, we put up 1,000, never happened, but it happened, shouldn't have happened. It's a mistake at our end. We have done many things to fix it, but that's not the point for the discussion today. What we did was, just to take you through that process, since you said it, this happened Monday morning. Before the media could make stories out of this, we were, we were out there, and, we said it ourselves, right? We took a proper. That afternoon, evening, we just flew to Chandigarh. We said, here's your money. And next morning, I called some of the leading channel newspapers and said, look, I want your front page tomorrow morning. And then we wrote out a message to Stock Exchange that this is paid. And we put out a front page ad saying that living by customer first values when it matters most. And we did it. The amazing thing, you'll see, Ritu, is that money stayed with us and deposit didn't leave the bank.
Not only did money stay with the bank, I think it even increased during the quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I must say that normally when such a big setback happens, every Twitter channel and every YouTube and everyone was educating people about this issue. You'll be surprised. 8 million customers on deposits. Yeah. People did not withdraw money. Yeah. I really believe that this is something crazy. That such a crazy news happening, but people did not withdraw money from IDFC. This quarter, our estimators will grow by 20% quarterly annualized. Meaning this quarter 5%, which we annualized to 20%. So imagine a bank bouncing back so fast. It is trust, and nothing else explains it. And we feel it's hard-earned. we feel it is a privilege. Somebody trusts us, and we have to live up to it, actually.
But let me ask you this. What is the personal cost of building this trust? I mean, for instance, you had a pretty cushy job at Citi. You had a very good role at ICICI Bank. You quit that. I'm sure you're all aware. He went out and he bought a small stake in an unknown small NBFC, grew that from scratch, made it, the NBFC it was, got a banking license with the IDFC merger to make it one of the largest private sector banks in India today in a very short span of time. But, being associated with a bank like that, building it from scratch, also comes with the fact that you have to be the face of every crisis. You have to be the face of every investor call where there's a loss. At what personal cost does that come, building this trust?
No, when my former boss, Mr. K.V. Kamath, on some occasion told me that if you have a still mind, right, not cluttered, if you have a still mind, you can go through, any conversation in a reasonably calm manner. My thing is that, to your point, yes, of course, this is, any startup is very stressful. Like in Capital First, when we started, we had a loan book of, we just started, a retail loan book was 94 crores. And by the way, for context, today it's 2.2 lakh crores, by the way, 15 years, folks, okay? It was 94 crores, okay?
Give us the tips and tricks, please.
Okay, 94 crores. Yeah. So, and we had a small net worth, small company. I'll tell you the power of trust. I used to go to banks to borrow. It was a non-bank finance company. And we raised, in those 8 years, 65,000 crores. And we built a loan book of 30,000 crores from that base. How can you raise 65,000 crores from the Indian banking system? We did. Because people trust us. The guy with ICICI, the guy's okay, we can give him some money. So, and I used to never negotiate. People used to say 10%, I said okay. Somebody said 13%, I said okay. And, I let the other banker make money. Khush ho ja, right? At least give me my money, right? And I used to be more interested in growing the book. But trust is what, Deepak Parekh very much helped me at that point of time. He put a good word about me to the private equity firms. K.V. Kamath put a great word about me, and many other people. So I think trust helped, at least I'm a big beneficiary of, goodwill of the system.
Well, let me ask you then how you're using artificial intelligence to deepen that trust. Because again, you're catering to a diverse set of people. The set of customers that are entering the banking fold, these new Gen Z are very much used to a tech-only interface. So
before we come there, I'll tell you, let's talk about IDFC, right? Because the same thing, right? The Capital First, I had a tough time, then became a good company. Then IDFC, first 3-4 years, a tough time. And people beat you up. They forget the fact that you're a new bank. Okay, they will compare you with ICICI, HDFC, Axis, Kotak, something like that, and look at the return on equity, look at their ROA, look at their ROE. You got to go through that. That's the job of somebody who starts up something, right? Now, but the good thing is that the trust, since we're talking about it, we have raised in the last 7 years, okay, in this IDFC, 20,000 crores of fresh equity capital. 21,000 crores. Hard, right? So again,
including twice over from the same private equity player in the NBFC and the bank.
Twice over from the same entity. And when, 6 times somebody participates, we have raised 6 issues in the last 6 years. I'm not very happy the bank is, having to dilute, but it's part of setting up something. But the point I'm trying to say is that trust. Now, with regard to, so the short point is that we feel that this is a responsibility, we got to live up to it and, hold customers' money dear. Now, to your point about artificial intelligence, right, and how to think about that. The thing about the fact is that tech now, Ritu, is becoming a very powerful thing to improve customer experience. I'll give you a small example. Now, if you're a customer and you are somewhere overseas, somewhere you swiped your credit card somewhere, it didn't work. One way is to inform you, okay, your card is declined. It's of no use to you. But if your SMS said that, your card is declined for this reason, that's some use to you. But if the SMS WhatsApp came to you with a video, a message to it, saying that you are overseas, you have not switched on your international roaming button, please click this button, activate it, try again. That's value add, real time. Then we know very well you're going to call the call center. So on a real-time basis, this system will tell the call center that if this customer number calls, please tell them that, don't start with what's
There's
your
no
mother.
press 1 for English.
Press 1 for
press
English.
2
and-
for this problem.
And press 9. And after press 9, say, what's your mother's maiden name? Right?
Please hold.
Please-
You are number 6 in the queue.
Yeah. And then you say, what's your mother's maiden name? What's your, color of...
Meanwhile, we'll advertise for a bank. You listen to this repeat
I know.
recorded message.
So if the customer goes through all that, it's harassment. But we said that, okay, now we know.
Glad you're calling it that. I'm
Yeah.
very glad to hear
No,
it.
it is pure harassment. Okay. Now, these kind of things happen. So, but tech can solve it. Tech is, we know it's returned. We inform the call center immediately, real time. And customer calls, if the customer calls, if they need to call at all, otherwise we can inform. And then the number picks up and says, okay, now we know it's because of this reason, please activate it. So, tech is such a powerful thing. Yeah. And we feel that over the last 3 years we've been working at this, the number of calls in the call center is coming down while the number of customers are going up. That's the power of tech.
I mean, this itself sounds wonderful to me as a customer that I don't have to go through that tedious process. But apart from this, what do you think has been the most transformative change when it comes to customer experience using an IDFC Bank app or, going through your website that technology has brought about?
See, first of all, like I told you that the bank has added 40 million customers, right? 8 million savings account customers and balance as lending customers in the last, let me say, 7 years. Now, it is not possible to have done it over a 200-year period, right? We don't have 200 years. I have only a few years. So it's not possible. Only tech can make it happen. Now, I'll give you a very quick way how to understand this, and if you'll just concentrate. Now, imagine there are core systems for the bank. Now, the core systems of the bank, we have created something like a data capability, an integrated, data platform where all the information. So you may be Ritu somewhere, you may be S Ritu somewhere, whatever. So banks actually often are confused who you are, right? You are in different names, in different databases, different marital status depending on when you took the loan, right? And your address has changed. So we have created a really high quality data platform, and we have reconciled all this data. That itself is a very powerful asset. Then on that database, we have created for every customer a DNA, every customer DNA. Basically, what is the customer's transaction, what is the customer's stock, what are the customer's investments, what are the customer's, pattern of transaction. We created a DNA. On that DNA, we have now created a capability, and by the way, these are difficult to build, these are difficult reconciliations. And then on that DNA, we have now created the ability to reach the precise customer at the right channel with the right proposition at the appropriate time. When we did that, and then we put anti-spamming rules, anti-repetition rules, because if you think of the customer who's well off, the home loan wants to reach them, credit card wants to reach them, every database wants to reach them, customers harassed. So we have put anti-repetition rules, so that don't reach the customer more than once a month. And we put anti-spamming rules.
Please share it with your peers.
Sorry?
Please share it with your peers.
Yeah, right. So we put these. So then we put a governance. Governance is not like, think of a traffic police, right? This is, okay, your traffic can go, your traffic can stop. Now, in a real world, digital, so we have put a digital traffic rules here, saying that if home loan is passed, then listen, car loan, you don't spam the customer for next 1 month, right? So we put these rules. That is why I am reasonably sure, 99% sure in this forum, I can almost say this customer base would not have been spammed, okay? It may have happened. If it's there, then you should tell us and we'll fix our processes. But these are how technology we use to make sure that we give precise proposition to customers.
Well, I'm so glad to hear it. And a round of applause, I think. For anyone who's not going to call me repeatedly or not going to make me go through IVR, kudos to you. But just simple question, because, trust is very much an eye-to-eye contact. You're going to a branch, you're talking to someone, you're venting there. In the age of digital, is building trust a bit harder before you can even show customers what the digital experience could be like? Is it a bit harder because of the lack of physical touch?
No, it's a very, very phenomenal point. And therefore, in the digital world, we have to take extra effort. Extra effort, because if I put any dark pattern, and in digital, very easy to put dark patterns. We know how some of those well-known stories happened in the last few of another industry. So we have to be extra careful that this is, we use a term in the bank, and I really mean it. We actually tell people, this is customers' money. If it's taken in the incorrect way, then it's dirty money come to a bank. And I am, as you know, I'm holding a lot of shares in the bank. I feel, look, it's coming to my home, right? Then I feel like, dirty money, your money come to my pocket. Why? Okay, it's like dirty money. I tell people, ki tumhara ESOP is coming from this money. So do you want dirty money? No, I don't want dirty money. Then we tell the employee who is not getting ESOP, the salary aa raha paisa, do you want the money? So we tell people, ki yaar, seekh le is baat ko, ki yaar, don't bring somebody else's money to your pocket. It doesn't belong to you. इसको समझा के, right? People come from many organizations. Then you have to tune their brain like this. Okay, so very important in digital era to not put dark patterns, because once customer sees that, then the trust is gone actually.
Absolutely. I mean, we've again run out of time, but for the leaders that are sitting in this room, Mr. Vaidyanathan, from your vast experience, we've seen multiple failures in banking. I mean, back in the day to more recently, I think people would remember Yes Bank, DHFL, INLFS, PMC Bank, and whatnot. The list goes on. What do you think, some of these banks could have handled differently in how some of the customers we saw, how they suffered, and your message to the community here on how to use technology, how to better build trust and retain customers in this digital era?
See, the thing is that, like I said,
apart from not taking dirty money.
Yeah. I mean, what I
don't con the customer.
Yeah. Don't spam. Don't scam the customer. Right. Don't pickpocket the customer. Right. So to say. Right. So we really feel that. We feel it from the heart, and frankly, we feel that if anybody in the system is doing that, we want to check and balance the system. We want some product manager doing it. We want someone else to object the person, because we put the organization ethos like that. Right. Humans, if we make a mistake, we want to be corrected. But we can make a mistake, but we want to be corrected if we made a mistake. But to your point about some of these things, that the incidents you talked about, the thing is that owning up to a mistake is super important. I feel that many of the names you talked about, somewhere systemically, culture has gone wrong. So we take a lot of effort in the bank that culture shouldn't get messed up. You can make a mistake. Now, culture is an amorphous thing, right? It's just culture, right? What does it mean? So to translate culture to specific policies becomes super important. And we can give examples very short of time. And the more importantly, what we feel is that in the age of tech, I find it's a great opportunity to enhance trust. I'll give you an example, okay, just to close that. Now, supposing there's a customer. If you see our app, by the way, our app has 20 million downloads in the last 7 years. 20 million downloads with the Google app rating, rated by public, with 1.1 million reviews of 4.9. Okay, I want to tell you, it's something, folks. Okay, it's 4.9.
And by the way, no customer who's apparently ever joined IDFC Bank has left.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise our deposit wouldn't grow. But I'll tell you, 4.9, and App Store rating 4.8. And anybody who would know the rating scale of App Store and Google will know it's pretty tough to beat, right? Pretty tough to have. So I feel that, day in and day out, we have to be obsessed about this app. In my people team will know, every single day I'm testing the app with somebody or other, the gym trainer or somebody, or the taxi driver or somebody, or somebody who's well off of our income profile. Everybody were testing the app every single day. Kisme ye leke aao, ye kyun nahi hai, ye galat kyun hai, ye kyun ghum raha hai, So this is like that kind of obsession we have for everything we're building, and it's all got to the stack, because the experience layer, finally, the design, the aesthetics, the journey, all of these things come from the underlying tech stack we have, and the analytics and the data that we have. So we feel that this is difficult to build, but this is something that we can scale, dramatically. So don't be surprised. In the next 4 or 5 years, if you see IDFC deposits touching 6 lakh crores, and loan book touching 5 lakh crores. Maybe in the next,
we'll hold you to that, Mr.
Yeah, you can record it. You can
may
record.
Your tribe grow. Bankers that put customers first. May your tribe grow. Thanks very much.
I'll tell you one thing. If you can grow from 1 lakh crore to 3 lakh crore, and if you could grow loan deposit from 40 to to 3 lakh crore, you should imagine 6 lakh crore should happen. Okay?
All right,
Thank you.
We'll take your word for it. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and thank you all for being such a wonderful audience. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
May I please request both of you to stay on stage? We couldn't have asked for a better end to the entire evening and the day today. What a candid conversation.
Forbes India and CNBC-TV18 present Exotel, EngageX.